Well, guys, I mentioned I had another Rigid Industry product after that last lighting one, and this guy was actually, I received a letter saying it was going to be 2 weeks out simply because their popularity. Forward Parts did a 12 Days of Christmas super sale featuring several off-road products, and one day you got an additional $40 off this dually. They're about 110 bucks a piece. You can buy them individually. If you buy a second one as a pair, you usually get $90 for the second one. It's around $200. Four Wheel Parts had them for $190. During Christmas, they had free shipping, and then with the additional $40 off, I actually got them for $149. It was $149 shipped to my door. So, pretty good deal. Very excited to try the LED stuff. It is sort of the next generation of lighting after HID. There's no warm-up time. They're very rugged for off-road use. I initially got these. One, it's a great price point to get introduced into the off-road lighting of LEDs, and two, they're darn neat little lights. They're very popular with ATVs and adventure motorcycle guys because you can easily put these rugged little units underneath your front forks of your BMW and whatnot, and they give a nice, great light. So, quick overview. You get two mounting brackets, and I'll show you when I get them on there that you're able to install them vertically and also behind themselves for motorcycles and stuff. You get two bolts that go to the bottom of the bracket, lock washers, nuts. The problem I had was I think they slipped up a little bit running two shifts to try and catch up with the demand during Christmas time. Was I only have two bolts and four nuts, so I can only hook one of these up until I run to the store and get two more of these. So I may do that this afternoon. What I'm going to try to do is hook these up right next to the light force so I can do pretty decent side-by-side comparison. These are the flood pattern. They do have a flood in a spot. You can also get them in an amber flood or spot. I got white and I got flood, and initially just because if I wasn't happy with the output, they make great auxiliary lighting, either for the rear or side lighting, or a lot of guys use them for reverse lights, things like that. So we're gonna get them hooked up. It does come with a nice weather pack connectors. I was surprised there was no relay, and it's interesting that they pre-wire your switch all hooked up, but then you got to run 4 cables. So we'll get that all figured out. The 12-volt lighting is not too hard to get on there, but these have an extremely low power draw, so maybe they didn't feel that a relay was necessary. But it's just a quick intro. We're going to go out there and I'll probably weld on a couple quick brackets onto the front bumper. And again, these are small enough that I can mount them with the light force. So we will do some side-by-side comparisons down the road. Okay, for just demonstration purposes, I want to do some comparisons with the dualies versus my 170 light force. So I'm stealing the magnets off those little work lights that I showed you. I got to trim the bolt down so it'll fit, and then we're just probably going to get them wired up, and I'll slap these on my hood and play around with a little bit of light comparisons, and I'll bring you back when we got that done. Alright, well, got the magnets on there. I actually have this in the vertical position, as you can see, and that way I can just slap it around a little bit tonight to do some direct comparisons. I can even fit it right underneath the current light force there, so you can see a direct size comparison. They're quite a bit smaller, so we'll see what kind of light. I'm just going to do a quick no frills install and see if we can get some light comparison and light shots tonight. As time goes on, the technology will get better. Their LEDs will get brighter. Originally I think these were rated at 1,000 lumens. The box on these that came said 1,300. So every year they're going to be improving as they go. The reflectors in here are really what sets Rigid Industries aside from all the other LED manufacturers out there. That's their kind of their gimmick is they've got the most light. So we got these on here. like I said, the harness is, I love the weather pack. I love the shrink tubing around here to protect it. The wires itself seem a little small, but that's probably just because I'm new to LED technology. These guys don't pull as many watts as, say, 100 watt light force would, so you may not need as burly wiring. But you wired it up, had plenty of wire for the application here in the Scout. As time goes on, I think when these first came out they said they were 1,000 lumen. Now the box says 1,300 lumen. So, you know, as technology goes, next year they may be brighter. These guys really set themselves apart from the rest because their reflectors seem to be the most efficient at getting all the LED light put out. I do find it strange that as you add LEDs into the wider bars, you get some of the 50-inch bars, you're putting out 14,000 lumens or something like that. It's incredible. I've seen some of the lights and you'll never want anything else. Now they are a little expensive, but it is interesting to me that you can add more LEDs and the more lumens you get. I don't think you may get longer throw. I'll have to look into that because, you know, I would never say that because I have 200 watt bulbs that I have a 200 watt output. Really, I don't think it would double. Each one is going to throw 100 watts from what it like it was by itself. So because I have two here, I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm throwing 200 watt you know, output. If I had a 200 watt bulb in the middle, I don't think these two would put out the same amount of light as a 200 watt bulb, I guess is what I'm saying. So I do find it strange that you can add more LEDs together, you know, because I wouldn't say that these four are now putting out 2,600 lumens because they're next to each other. So I'll have to look into it more. It's interesting as technology goes, and you know, these guys, like I said, the reflector is kind of their key thing. So right now I just have them up on the magnet mounts so I can play around with the output tonight when it gets dark and compare them directly to the Light Force 170s. Now I do have the 240 Blitz and I have the HIDs, but you know, these things are quite a bit better than the HIDs. There's no warm-up involved. When you turn the HIDs on, you know, it's about 30 seconds till you're getting the true color of the light and the output. Right here on the side of the box says 15,000 hour lifespan. Pretty typical of LEDs, but what if you haven't done the math, that's just under 6 years. It's like 5.7 years of continuous on. So as long as I have power with these, you know, I can just leave them on. I'll put some links up. These guys basically drug it around, they shot it, they ran over it, they pretty much did all the destruction tests you could do to a light, which are pretty impressive. And if you've seen any of the Light Force ones, you know that they shoot the polycarbonate lenses with shotguns, so I can only imagine this front lens is the same material. I know I'm losing light here, so the quality is probably diminishing, but zero UV emissions, IAP 68 ratings, no hot spots, which is really nice. If you're a lighting guru, you know the LEDs, especially with their reflector, it's just a nice clean beam all the way through. There's no middle bright spot and then it kind of loses towards the edge. No vibration or bouncing, 100% optical clear lens, no warm-up, instant on. We were just talking about that. Again, these are the 20-degree flood pattern. They do have a 10-degree spot, and we'll see tonight how well it goes. Unbreakable Lexan lens, that's pretty much the same. All aluminum housing, powder coat finish, sealed connectors, off-road use only. So there you go. Again, we'll compare it later tonight and see what we see, and I'll bring up my SLR and try and take some comparative photos on the same exposure, and we'll do probably the HID headlights, and we'll also do the Light Force just to get some comparative pictures of how bright these are. But they fit just about anywhere, so I may, in the long run, down the road, if I pick up maybe a 10-inch bar or a 20-inch bar, I think a 10-inch bar would look sweet right here. So if I pick up something like that, or even something over the cab, these will probably turn into either side lighting or auxiliary rear lighting. Yeah, let's see.